These 10 monster waves will leave you questioning if you ever want to see the ocean again. Number 10. The Columbia River, meeting as the North Pacific Ocean, is a place of stark beauty and unforgiving power. Known as the Graveyard of the Pacific, a chilling testament to the thousands of ships claimed by its treacherous currents and shifting sandbars. And in February 2023, it added another near miss to its grim tally. A lone yacht was caught in the jaws of a monstrous 40-foot wave. Picture a wall of water, 3 stories high, bearing down on you with the force of 1,000 stampeding horses. The Coast Guard, those unsung heroes of the sea, dispatched their finest. Petty Officer Branch Walton, a young rescue swimmer with nerves of steel and a heart of gold. He was about to face the ultimate test of his courage and skill. He descended from the helicopter into the maelstrom below, the wind whipping at his face, the icy spray stinging his eyes. Every inch closer to the yacht was a battle against the relentless onslaught of the sea. But that's when this happened. An enormous wave, like a monstrous wall of water, slammed down. The yacht was gone, swallowed up by the swirling foam. Walton almost vanished into the darkness too, and you'd think they're gone for good. But he didn't give up. With sheer grit and determination, he clung to the wreckage, his body battered and bruised, his lungs burning for air. And in a moment of breathtaking bravery, he managed to pull the yacht's occupant, Jericho Labonte, from the icy grip of the ocean. Labonte, shivering and dazed, was more than just a lucky survivor. He was a fugitive, wanted by the authorities in British Columbia.
Stacey Kelly, watching the rescue with no idea the man plucked from the water was the same man his department had been searching for. Police alerted to this video Wednesday. They say that's Labonte there, placing a dead fish on a porch.
He put the dead fish on the porch, put stickers over the security camera.
It seems even in the face of nature's fury, justice has a way of finding its mark. The Graveyard of the Pacific had nearly claimed another victim, but instead, it served up a dose of karma, cold and unforgiving as the waves themselves. Number 9. It's a sunny Sunday, September 13th, 2015. Imagine yourself standing on the banks of the Qiangtang River in China. It's crowded and everyone's excited. All eyes are on the river, waiting for the famous tidal bore to arrive. You can feel the anticipation in the air. It's about to be an amazing sight. The waves crash over the dam, a mesmerizing display of nature's raw power. It's like a giant water fountain on steroids, and you can't help but be drawn in. You pull out your phone, eager to capture the moment for posterity. But then, that's when this happens. The river, as if sensing the crowd's excitement, decides to up the ante. A monstrous wave surges over the barrier, a wall of water swallowing the road where you and the others stand. It's a scene straight out of a disaster movie, the kind where you'd be yelling at the screen, "Run, you idiots!" Except this time, you're one of the idiots. People scatter, their screams echoing against the roar of the water. A man is knocked off his feet, and vehicles are swept away like discarded toys. The air is thick with panic, the taste of fear almost tangible. But then, just as quickly as it came, the wave recedes, leaving behind a scene of chaos and disbelief. Miraculously, amidst the wreckage, no one suffers serious injuries. It's a close call, and a stark reminder that nature's beauty can turn on you in a heartbeat. But here's the thing. This wasn't a freak accident. The Qiangtang River is famous for its tidal bores, caused by the unique shape of its estuary and the gravitational pull of the moon. These bores can reach heights of up to 30 feet and travel at speeds of 25 miles per hour. And on that fateful Sunday in 2015, the river reminded everyone of its awesome power, leaving a crowd of onlookers drenched, terrified, and hopefully a little wiser. It's a lesson we all need to remember. Never underestimate the force of nature, no matter how calm and inviting it may seem. Number 8. The North Sea, a place of legends and lore, where sailors have braved its fury for centuries. But on this day, in 2011, the sea was in a particularly foul mood. The VOS Voyager, a 1,734-ton field support vessel, was caught in its grip, a tiny speck amidst the towering waves. The scene was apocalyptic. The wind howled like a banshee, the sky was a bruised purple, and the waves, oh those waves, they were the stuff of nightmares. Mountains of water rising and falling with a sickening rhythm, each one threatening to swallow the ship whole. You'd expect the crew to be huddled in fear, praying for the storm to pass. But then you hear it.
That's awesome!
Laughter. Hysterical, uproarious laughter echoing through the ship. It's the kind of laughter that defies logic. The kind that says, we might be going down, but we're going down swinging. Turns out the North Sea's no stranger to wild weather. It's home to some of the strongest tides on Earth, and its storms can whip up waves taller than a 3-story house. So, maybe these guys have a screw loose, or maybe they've just learned to embrace the chaos.
Shut the fuck up! That's awesome! Just got it! 20 seconds to go! That's awesome! Get the happy with that.
Either way, it's a reminder that even when things get rough, a little laughter can go a long way. And trust me, if you can find the humor in the face of a North Sea storm, you can probably handle anything life throws your way. Number 7. On the Hawaiian island of Kauai, at a beach known as Lumahai Beach, it's a picture-perfect paradise. But it has a dark side. The surf here is notoriously dangerous, especially with El Niño years when the Pacific Ocean warms up and throws its weight around. On this particular day, a group of locals were playing a risky game with the waves. They'd found a spot protected by a natural rock wall, a little haven where they could experience the thrill of the shore break without getting sucked out to sea. The waves were huge, crashing against the rocks and sending explosions of white water sky high. It was all fun and games until it wasn't. The first big wave hit, knocking everyone off their feet. They laughed it off, got back up, ready for more. Then came another even bigger wave. This time, some were swept around the side of the rocks, their bodies tumbling in the churning water. But they were tough. They picked themselves up, grinning and whooping, ready to face the next one. Then the monster arrived. a wave so massive it dwarfed the others, surging over the rock wall like a tidal wave. It was terrifying. This time, everyone knew they were in trouble. They scrambled to escape, some running, some diving, some simply swept away by the sheer force of the water. It was reported that some lost their belongings in the chaos. Cameras, phones swallowed by the hungry sea. Even spectators further back were hit by powerful knee-high currents, fumbling their things into the receding waters. Miraculously, there were no serious injuries, but it was a close call, a reminder that nature's power is not to be trifled with. With all the chaos happening, you can't help but wonder at those rocks, standing firm amidst the maelstrom. They've witnessed countless storms, countless tides, and they remain silent guardians of the shore, holding secrets the ocean would rather keep hidden. Number 6. The Southern Ocean, a place where the world's wildest waters collide. It's a realm of extremes, the coldest, windiest, most unforgiving stretch of ocean on Earth. In this icy wilderness, even the bravest sailors tread with caution. It's 2015, and the HMNZS Otago, a New Zealand warship, is on a mission to protect these unforgiving waters from illegal toothfish poachers. But today, they're about to face a different kind of adversary, one that doesn't care about laws or borders. Imagine this. The Otago is patrolling the Furious 50s, a notorious zone where winds can whip up to 50 miles per hour and waves tower like skyscrapers. The ship, a 1,700-ton behemoth, is built for these conditions. But even the toughest steel can be tested when Mother Nature decides to flex her muscles. Then it happens.
That's God. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared then. The gun just got.
A monstrous wave, a 65-foot wall of water, rises from the depths. It's a sight that strikes fear into the hearts of even the most experienced sailors. The wave crashes onto the Otago with a bone-jarring impact, sending a shudder through the entire vessel. For a heart-stopping moment, it feels like even this warship might be swallowed whole. But here's the kicker.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared then.
Instead of panic, there's laughter. The crew, these battle-hardened sailors, are facing down a force of nature that's claimed countless lives over the centuries, and they're having a blast. These guys aren't just brave, they're downright audacious. They're laughing in the face of danger, embracing the wild ride that is life on the Southern Ocean. The Southern Ocean, it turns out, is a place of extremes, a place where the boundaries between life and death are razor thin. The ocean here is like a moody teenager. One minute, it's all calm and peaceful. The next, it's throwing a tantrum and whipping up a storm. Yet, amidst the chaos, there's a strange beauty, a raw, untamed power that both terrifies and inspires. The HMNZS Otago and its crew faced that power head-on, and they emerged victorious. Take a moment to appreciate the sheer amount of engineering excellence that went into designing a ship that could take the impact of this wave. And I think back in the day when those old wooden ships probably took the same hit too. Those sailors back then were something else. Number 5. Meet Tom, a seasoned sailor with salt water in his veins. He's been sailing since he was a kid, thanks to his mom's boat building course. Now, Years later, he was living the dream, a solo circumnavigation of the globe aboard his trusty 28-foot yacht, Fathom. But in November of 2017, 100 miles off the Australian coast, his dream turned into a nightmare. The sea was a raging beast, whipped into a frenzy by a relentless storm. Towering waves crashed against the Fathom ship, threatening to swallow her whole. Tom hove to, and riding out the storm, braced himself against the onslaught. The wind screamed and the yacht groaned and shuddered with every impact. Then, out of nowhere, this happened. A rogue wave appeared. It was a monster, a towering wall of water that dwarfed the already massive waves. Tom barely had time to register what was happening before it slammed into Fathom. The impact was brutal. The yacht was knocked almost completely on its side. Water flooded the cabin, and Tom was thrown against the wall. For a moment, he thought it was all over. He was alone, 100 miles from shore, with no one to hear his cries for help. For 3 long days and nights, Tom battled the storm. He later described it as a relentless assault on his senses and his sanity. He was exhausted, scared, and alone, but he refused to surrender. He'd come too far, dreamed too long to let the ocean claim him now. Finally, the storm began to subside. The wind died down. The waves grew smaller. Tom, battered but unbroken, emerged from the cabin to assess the damage. Fathom was a mess, but she was still afloat. With a sigh of relief, Tom set course for shore. It was a long, slow journey, but he made it. He faced the ocean's wrath and lived to tell the tale. It was a testament to his courage, his resilience, and his unwavering love for the sea. Number 4. Puerto Rico, a tropical paradise where the sun always seems to shine. But even in this idyllic setting, Mother Nature likes to flex her muscles. And at Playa Puerto Nuevo, she put on a show that'll leave you speechless. At first glance, it seems like any other beach, with soft sand and inviting waters. But look closer and you'll notice something extraordinary. A massive, natural rock wall that stretches along the shore. It's like a fortress, built to withstand the full force of the Atlantic Ocean. On a calm day, the scene was as it always is. Gentle waves lap at the shore, creating a soothing soundtrack. But when the storm rolls in, the beach transforms into an arena for an epic battle between land and sea. The first signs are subtle. The waves grow larger, their crests foaming white. The wind picks up, carrying a salty mist. Then, that's when this happens. A wave, larger than before, crashes against the rock wall. It explodes in a shower of spray, a fleeting glimpse of the power that lies beneath the surface. But that's just a taste of what's to come, because then, this happens.
Wow, see that? Oh my God. Look at that.
The next wave is even bigger, slamming into the rocks with a thunderous roar. It's like a scene from a disaster movie, except it's happening right in front of you. The spray shoots up so high, it's like a giant water fountain, a spectacle that's both terrifying and beautiful. and it keeps coming, wave after wave, each one more ferocious than the last. The once calm lagoon is now a churning cauldron of white water. It's like the ocean is throwing a tantrum, and those rocks are the only thing standing between you and its fury. Now, you might be thinking, who in their right mind would hang out at a beach during a storm? Well, believe it or not, people flock to Playa Puerto Nuevo to witness this epic showdown. They stand on the shore, cameras in hand, capturing the raw power of nature. It's a reminder that even paradise has its limits, and that Mother Nature can put on a show that no theme park could ever match.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Number 3. The city of Phuket in Thailand serves as a picture of tropical paradise, right? White sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, swaying palm trees. But even paradise has a dark side. And when monsoon season rolls around, the Andaman Sea can turn from a tranquil playground into a raging beast. On August 1st, 2023, a group of tourists, eager to explore the beauty of Phuket's coastline, hopped on a speedboat tour. They were probably expecting a leisurely cruise, maybe a chance to spot some dolphins or snorkel in a secluded cove. But what they got was a white-knuckle thrill ride they'd never forget. The sea, once so calm and inviting, had turned into a churning cauldron of fury. Waves the size of elephants rose up, their crests foaming with rage. The speedboats, once sleek and agile, were now bucking broncos, tossed and turned by the relentless onslaught. Imagine the scene. Tourists clinging to the railings, their screams drowned out by the roar of the wind and waves. The boats slammed down into the troughs, sending spray flying high into the air. It was like a scene from a water park gone wrong, a chaotic ballet of fear and exhilaration. The Andaman Sea during monsoon season is no joke. Waves can easily reach 10 feet or higher, and that's enough to make even the most experienced sailor feel a bit green around the gills. These tourists? Well, let's just say they were getting a crash course in the power of nature. Thankfully, everyone was wearing life jackets. It's a small comfort when you're essentially playing bumper boats in a hurricane, but it's better than nothing. The Thai Meteorological Department had issued warnings that day, but sometimes Mother Nature just likes to throw a curveball. So, next time you're planning a tropical getaway, remember to check the weather forecast. And maybe pack a few extra pairs of underwear, just in case. Number 2. In Hamburg, Germany, February 2022, Storm Elenia is throwing a fit, and the city's feeling it. Winds howling, rains coming down in buckets, and the river Elbe, usually so calm and peaceful, is looking downright scary. On the river, a commuter ferry is making its way across. Inside, it's just another day. People are sipping coffee, scrolling through their phones, oblivious to the chaos brewing outside. Then, a low rumble. It's like the river's growling, a deep, ominous sound that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. The ferry lurches, and suddenly, this happens. A massive wave fills the windows. This ain't no ripple. We're talking a wall of water, taller than a 2-story house. The wave smashes through the glass and all hell breaks loose. Water explodes into the ferry. People are screaming. Scrambling for higher ground. It's pure panic. Imagine, 1 minute you're on your way to work. The next, you're dodging flying debris and wondering if you'll ever see dry land again. Now, you might be thinking, a ferry in a river? How bad could it be? Well, let me tell you, the Elbe during a storm surge is no joke. It can swell up like a bathtub overflowing with angry bubbles. And that wave? It was a monster, a surge wave fueled by the storm's fury. Storm Elenia had pushed the river to its limits, and the ferry was caught in the crossfire. Luckily, there were no serious injuries, but the aftermath was a mess. The ferry was battered, the passengers were soaked and shaken. It was a close call, a stark reminder that even the most familiar places can turn dangerous when Mother Nature decides to show off her power. Number 1. 2 kayakers were out in the big blue, soaking up the sun. It's calm, beautiful, picture perfect. The kind of day you'd kill for. But the ocean? It's got a dark side. They say there's a monster out there, a rogue wave, a freak of nature. And on this day, it's hungry. That's when this happens.
I don't stop.
Oh, watch out. Out of nowhere, it rises, a mountain of water twice the size of anything around it. The kayakers see it. Their blood runs cold. One makes a split decision. He paddles towards it. Insane? Maybe. But just as the wave is about to crush him, he throws himself over the top. A heart-stopping stunt. And he makes it. The other guy? He paddles like hell in the opposite direction. It's a desperate race, man against nature. But the waves are faster. It crashes down, and for a moment, it feels like the wave might have swallowed him whole. You'd think it's over. The ocean claimed another victim. But wait. The wave rolls back, and there he is. Battered, but alive, with no serious injuries. They both are. They stared death in the face, and they won. It's a reminder, the ocean's a beast. Beautiful, but deadly. Respect it, or it'll swallow you whole. And sometimes, even respect isn't enough. Sometimes, it's just luck, or maybe something more. Think you're safe on dry land? Think again, because these 50 flash floods that will give you chills will show you just how quickly things can change.